If you love hurricanes, daiquiris, and, well, any rum cocktail, listen up. Captain Morgan's about to shake things up like never before. We're talking Bourbon Street, New Orleans, home to legendary drinks and unforgettable moments. But what if we told you the most iconic cocktails here have one thing in common? Hint, it's not bourbon. That's right, it's rum. And Captain Morgan is bringing unforgettable fun to Bourbon Street in a way you won't want to miss. Get ready for something big as we gear up for Super Bowl 59. Make sure to keep your eyes on NOLA's most iconic street. Who knows, Bourbon Street might just need a new name. Stay tuned for clues and get ready for the most legendary adventure yet. Please drink responsibly. Captain Morgan Original Spice Rum, 35% alcohol by volume. Captain Morgan Rum Company, New York, New York.
Of Reese on the radio. Whack FM.
All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
And what's going on, all you scallywags out there? Hey now, you know what the deal is. It's the world's most hated and most racist online show in America. It's the Reese on the Radio Rundown with yours truly, Reese on the Radio. Hello, Carl. My brother, Rick Walker, in the house, baby. Now, folks, you're going to see me turning to the left often. I'm going to be turning here to my left. And the reason why I'm doing it is because the Caps, the Washington Capitals, are playing against the Florida Panthers. It is tied 1-1 in an elimination game for the Capitals, for the Washington Capitals. And I'm a Caps fan, so I want the Caps to take it to a 7-game series, but they are looking awful. And the Panthers could win it. And I hate Florida. I don't want them to win. But speaking of winning, Rick, please let me know an update. I know that your campaign is going strong. I know that, by the way, for those of you who don't know, my good friend Rick Walker is running for NC House, North Carolina House of Representatives. Oh, you goddamn right you can call. Get on the phone. You know the number. Shoot. You get on that phone lines right now. Let me get everybody that number. But don't call while Rick is on the phone. Rick, that number, 202-735-1288. Again, 202-735-1288. Please call us up and give us an update on your campaign. I will put you right through. Let me see here. Hey, no doubt, Mr. Beckman. Let me make sure that I can get you here. That's going to be right. Yep, okay. I got you. So whenever you're ready, again, 202-735-1288. Rick, get on the phone, and we'll get you on here. Carl says, what's up, bro? Carl got to meet Rick on a trip that we took to Florida. And we'll talk to him in a second. As soon as that phone rings up, we will get him on here. Anyway, that being said, plenty of news, plenty of views to get into, a lot of stuff going on. Candace Owens, who I rarely, you notice if you follow this show enough, I don't play a lot of Candace Owens stuff. She is not my cup of tea. Probably because she's got her niche. She's got her thing. I'm not really into her when I talk about her. My issue with Candace Owens is because she's become a little bit of a flamethrower for the sake of, and that's becoming, to me, almost gimmicky. And I've got a problem with that. That number again is 202-735-1288. Again, 202-735-1288. Anyway, so I was saying, she's a little gimmicky to me. And I got some video of her, but it is only to expose Patrisse Cullors, former head of Black Lives Matter, and that whole $6 million home nonsense that she's trying to pull off. She's running around, Patrisse Cullors, that is, running around crying, screaming about her Candace Owens harassing her. Let me get to this phone. Give me a second here. There we go. Hold on there, Rick. I will get you here on the line. All right, there he is. None other than, we got to give him a round of applause again, none other than Rick Walker, running for North Carolina House of Representatives. Rick, talk to us, sir, about your campaign. Yeah, what's up, bro? We haven't talked in a little bit. What's going on, man? And by the way, did you, when we met in November, when we had our conversation, when I came by your house, we had lunch, met your beautiful wife, met your kids, well, at least one of them, went out to the garden. You actually made hamburgers and hot dogs for us. We had a great time.
Almost burnt my house down.
Yeah, almost burnt the house down. I got to meet the dog. Love the dog. We spoke. Oh, the cat. Sorry, the cat. The cat and the dog. Didn't we have a dog there too?
Well, yeah, we have 2 cats and a dog. So we probably met all 3.
And we talked, and I probably ad nauseum in my part about your wife and this campaign and what you need to do, just for the audience and maybe a little bit of my ego. How much of my advice did you take?
I took all of it.
Really?
And it worked.
Really?
About putting my family, making my family visible and part of it.
Yeah.
That was one, right?
Yeah.
I definitely have done that. I mean, that's the best part of me, Reese. So that was going to come.
And
that was a sure thing.
I told you, and I said that your wife Sam plays such a huge role in your evolution, if you will. You know, being a family man, your children, you know, and exactly like everything it is that you built from the bottom up. You scrape your blue collar. You work hard. She's a hard worker. She gets, she's, totally a part of that. She's just a beautiful woman, and she really, really brings out, I think, they use that term, your better half. She clearly is. She makes you shine, and she's really, and I spoke to her and I said, you have got to be a key to his success. And she kind of nodded. She goes, yeah, I understand. I just don't know. I got to think about it. I said, hey, of course, you have to think about it because it's grueling. It can be. But, and I gave you all that advice and why it was important for you to talk about the things that you need to talk about and don't let others distract you from your message. So tell me a little bit about
what... She's the best part of it. She's just not my other half. She's the best half. And I'm not just saying that because I'm married to her. I'm saying that because she saved my life.
Right. That was what I meant. I didn't want to allude. I didn't want to allude to that.
I don't really know my story. But I mean, my story goes deep. It's been 40 years in the making to get me to this point, and God sent her here to change me, to help change me and my kids, and so they're going to be a piece of this story,
right?
Automatically,
right?
They already are, in my view, and part of my campaign has been that the family man I am, the hard work I put in to get myself in my bootstraps. From dealing with broken homes and drug abuse and alcohol abuse from the time I was born until the time I was 30 years old. All of that is part of who I am today. So I've talked about it all. And I don't regret any of it.
But you know what?
It made me who I am today.
And I think to reach the people who are there, there's a redemption story and there's a heartfelt part of it. But what makes it so, I want to say, relatable is the fact that you're not coming at them with this oligarch or this sort of holier than thou, like you're not there looking for royalty. You don't want to be anointed. You want to represent the people. You have a vision. You see what it is that they see that's going on in their world or in this community, and you want to exact that kind of change with them in mind. This isn't your mission, it's theirs.
true citizen representation.
Exactly.
That is what my platform is.
Absolutely.
And we're not getting it. And it's just not North Carolina. It's just not the district I'm in. This is something that we deal with in every single state
right
across this nation.
Absolutely.
Now, not every single position. There are probably a few, not many, that actually say what they mean and mean what they say, and they go in there and they run on things and they try to get it done. But a lot of people are there for influence and power and money. And that's one of my campaign platform pieces. I go in there and I tell people at the polls, I've been at the polls 12 hours a day for the last 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Because early voting, that's another story, that early voting. But I've been talking to these people, and I tell them, it's not just what I'm going to do when I get there. It's what the other people that are doing that are there that I'm going to say something about. So if we're electing Republicans or conservatives into office and they're not doing something, you better believe that I'm going to be the loudest person in the room.
Right.
I am going to call them out. We're going to know who is actually doing what we want them to do.
That's right.
Or we're going to get them out of there.
Yeah. And let them know. And again, your campaign is citizen representation. So talk to me a little bit about, because I remember in the beginning, very early on, it was a scrap. Like you were scrapping to get some people interested in your campaign, listening to you, or even coming to like events or things like that. And I've watched you on Facebook from afar, and I've watched what's going on, and I see there's this really...
If you love hurricanes, daiquiris, and, well, any rum cocktail, listen up. Captain Morgan's about to shake things up like never before. We're talking Bourbon Street, New Orleans, home to legendary drinks and unforgettable moments. But what if we told you the most iconic cocktails here have one thing in common? Hint, it's not bourbon. That's right, it's rum. And Captain Morgan is bringing unforgettable fun to Bourbon Street in a way you won't want to miss. Get ready for something big as we gear up for Super Bowl 59. Make sure to keep your eyes on NOLA's most iconic street. Who knows, Bourbon Street might just need a new name. Stay tuned for clues and get ready for the most legendary adventure yet. Please drink responsibly. Captain Morgan Original Spice Rum, 35% alcohol by volume. Captain Morgan Rum Company, New York, New York.
Like there's this evolution and growth going on with your campaign. You've got the yard signs popping, which, by the way, they're so simple and beautiful. You found a way to incorporate red, white, and blue without bleeding red, white, and blue. I love that. So you did it. It's a very subtle Americana sort of way that you did it. So
I
tell
gotta
me.
give all credit to my designer on that one.
Oh, really?
Somebody designed that logo. Oh, yeah. That's my logo, and somebody designed it, so all credit goes to them. I did approve it, so I guess I get some.
Yeah, you get some. Right. You said, hey, that looks great. So tell me what the evolution of this was. How are you doing? Campaign-wise, response-wise, are people reacting to you, fundraising, any of those aspects that you wish to share?
Well, I will tell you, this campaign started at the very grassroots. I mean,
it was
bare bones. It was just an idea that I've always had ingrained in me. My grandmother was a councilwoman, so I've always had politics in me.
Mm-hmm.
But over the past few years, things have happened. We've all seen it. We've all felt it in some ways that we need a change. So I started to think about it more. Some things happened locally when she's pretty much the person I'm challenging dismissed the vaccine mandate. Said, oh, you can just go find another job. And I realized there was a lot of money being poured into our House district here by Big Pharma and Pfizer and these nationwide pharmaceutical packs. And
sure,
there was a lot of things that got me started in it. Yeah. So it started there, and it was hard at first gaining momentum because I'm challenging somebody that's entrenched in politics in this county for 25 years. So it was challenging at first. I'm being obstructed by the party,
sure,
of course, because the influence and the money sits there. So there's that. But it was hard at first, but now I talk to my wife and my friends all the time. I said, this is something I could have never predicted. So in the county I'm living in, from the research that I've done, there's never been a sitting elected official in the state house or any other that I can find that has ever been primaried and removed.
Really?
And we're on the verge of doing that.
Wow.
And I can tell you that based on people I'm talking to at the polls, I've met more people than I can count over the last 2 weeks that have come out, either meeting them walking in or coming out that said, Rick, you're Rick Walker. I know you. I voted for you. And I have no idea who these people are.
That's great.
It's beyond humbling, Reese. I really can't explain how much it means and how much responsibility I feel. I'm not going to let that go without being said.
Absolutely.
There's a level of responsibility here that I feel, and I know that when I'm elected, this can't be a game. This is something that these people deserve this. They put their trust in me, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to make them not regret their vote.
Absolutely. By the way, folks, for those of you listening on the podcast, Rick Walker, who is running for North Carolina House. What's the district you're running in, Rick?
District 26.
District 26. I knew that. I didn't want to get that number wrong. District 26 in North Carolina. And if you are in that district, please look. And I say this, and don't let me like literally be your guide, but listen to what I'm telling you. Rick, for the years that I've known him, Rick has been a patriot, a listener, an understander of what regular people go through. It has been important to him. He is so passionate about the way that the world is going that he is absolutely invested every bit of his fiber. And I told him very early on, you got to get used to losing, but don't let that stop you. And Rick said, well, the last time he ran, it didn't work out. And I told him, you can't quit. If you're serious about this, it's going to take a couple of tries. And I believe in my heart of hearts, from the moment he said he was going to run, and this is going to be the second time you're running, right? Right, Rick? Or are we on the third yet?
Well, I ran for the county GOP chair last year.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
I did
you ran
run
for public office.
In party, it wasn't
But you've run for public office, and I'm saying that even then he just said, you know what? If I can't do it here, I'm going to do it somewhere else. And people, you need to understand, if you're in District 26, if you're in North Carolina, you can help, and you want to help Rick, please understand that he doesn't have to keep going back and doing this, but he really believes that he can offer something to the people of that district and to the people in the state of North Carolina. He believes that he can do something that has not been done or we haven't seen done in a long time, and that's give that seat back to the people that are being represented. And I really believe that. I've watched him and passionately listened to him talking, and I've met in D.C., and I've talked to him, and I heard him, and I really, really believe him and what he wants. And after having that conversation with you when Carl and I came down, I know you want this, and I know why you want it. And I know why. And like I said, it's not for the reasons that others do, because it's not a great paying job. You're not doing this for the prestige.
$13,000 a year.
Yeah, it's not for the prestige. Yeah, it's not for the fame and fortune.
It would be my second job as well.
Yeah,
so I'm still going to be working full time, my blue collar job, and I'm going to be doing this on top of it.
Absolutely.
But I believe in hard work. I came from nothing, to be honest with you. It's not a sob story. I'm just telling you the story.
Yeah.
I lived on food stamps, on welfare when I was a child. And everything that I have, I made for myself. Or God, let me rephrase that. I honestly believe God put me in positions in my life to be able to rebuild and make for myself. But as far as the hard work and what I've done, I put it in, and I will translate that hard work mentality into representation, and I believe that'll matter.
Yeah. Now, White Mike wants to ask you a question. He says, does Rick think being a Yankee hurts his chances? Now, I know you answer. You've lived in that community for some 20 years, and you're originally from the Northeast. Was it Philly or Jersey area?
Both.
Okay, so yeah, that's
pretty much
that little tri-state area.
I call South Jersey, Stratford, New Jersey, my home, but right. I was back and forth between Philadelphia and South Jersey for most of my life.
Right. And you've been here.
I lived here for 8 years.
Right.
7 years.
Okay. Now, but you know this community, so you're a part of North Carolina. You're not some out of sort of touch. You've been ingrained. This is your community. You live here. You breathe.
This
here.
is my home.
Yeah, it's your home.
It's my home. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I coach basketball. I coach girls basketball in the community. I coach Little League baseball in the community. I'm active in politics. So I'm not just a newcomer, the carpetbagger, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I know. Listen, I told you, I've shadow campaign managed before, and I kind of consider myself a shadow campaign manager for you, just talking to you and how it is that you need to react to these things, because I understand how the press works, I understand how the politics work, and how they try to get you to follow their messaging. And I remember you and I had a conversation about that. About someone was directing the messaging that you were being made to respond to. And I told you, don't let them get your goat. Because that's when it becomes you having to defend their accusation as opposed to you.
And that was some of the best advice I've been given.
Yeah.
This whole campaign, Reese. It really was.
And I told you, I said, that is, if you let them steer that, I think, I can't remember who the candidate was, but it was people were calling her a witch. And then she put out a campaign ad where she says, I'm not a witch. I went, oh, you're done. You're finished. Now you're responding to the insult, which means they got you.
Yep.
They own you now. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to be defending something that some false claim that somebody put on you for the rest of your life. And I think I used the analogy. I said, Rick, if anybody called you a dog killer, you'd have to spend the rest of your life proving to people that you don't kill dogs. How do you do that?
You can't prove a negative.
Yeah, you can't prove a negative. So, and that's the way. You can't let them, and as soon as they go after that, you've got to, one, call it out, let them know that that's bogus, and then explain to them the only reason why you're doing that is because you are trying to get that, you're trying to, instead of addressing the issues that I'm bringing up, you're trying to redirect and make me have to follow your narrative. And I'm not standing for it. I don't have to answer that question. I won't answer it. And if you ask me about it, it'll always be about this campaign. It'll always be about the citizens that I'm trying to represent. And if you just keep it on that, they will have to follow. Because after a while, it just gets boring. It's a silly question. Keep moving. So, but
back to whose question? Mike?
Yeah, White Mike. Yeah.
All right, Mike. They've tried. Some people have tried to use it against me.
Really?
Now I've embraced the whole term Yankee. I joke with people. I tell them that I'm a Yankee. When they say you're a Yankee, I say, yeah, unfortunately. I just make it part of the joke, but they know. Mm-hmm. I tell them. I said, there's a reason why I left New Jersey, and there's a reason why I chose to make this my home. I don't want to see this turn into what I moved from.
Right.
That's basically what I tell them.
Your favorite baseball team is the Phillies, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the next time somebody calls you a Yankee, make it a joke about the Phillies. That's all you have to do.
The funniest part is the Little League team I'm coaching right now, I'm coaching the Yankees.
Oh, that's even better. When they say, I'm a Yankee, that's all you do is say, yeah, that's the team I coach. That's the Little League team I coach. How'd you know?
And I don't really think the whole Yankee thing matters, because people that have gotten to know me and the people I meet on the streets and the people I meet door knocking and at these voting polls, I really believe they know that I'm telling the truth.
Right.
They know that I'm real. They know that I'm not just blowing smoke. I really think they can tell that.
Absolutely.
I hope they can.
Well, you got to remember one thing, and that whole thing about the Yankee part, about where you're from. I'll tell you this briefly. When I worked at WRKO, when the folks got wind that I was coming in from New York, and the whole Boston-New York rivalry, right? Mm-hmm. I understood that from day one. When I got on the air, Bostonians were going to be like, nah, screw that guy. He's from New York. He's from the enemy state, the Empire State. We hate them. When I walked into that doorway, someone, I think it was one of my first callers, was talking about the snowstorm that we had gotten there. And he was like, you're from New York. You don't understand what we're going through here. You're from New York. You don't have to deal with the stuff that we have to deal with. And my response to him was, this is not Mars. Boston is not Mars. You are Americans who deal with the same problems that other Americans deal with. You deal with it at different times. You deal with snowstorms when Florida might be dealing with hurricanes. But as Americans, we deal with adversity the same way. We challenge ourselves and we fight back against adversity. Nothing about that is alien. So don't think that because you had a snowstorm and because I'm from New York, I can't relate to you. You're not a Martian. And when I said that, people just like, actually, it's a good point. People start treating their territory like it's only unique to them. And that's where you got to address that. You got to always say, it's like, yeah, I'm a Yankee, which means what? That people in, from Philadelphia and Jersey don't face the same issues that we face right here.
Also, another thing that helps me in that regard is there's a lot of people in this, there's a lot of growth happening. North Carolina is, I think, don't quote me on this, but
it's one of the fastest lodging
in the most
you're right.
growing states in the country.
You're right. You're
and
100%
the county
right.
I'm living in is the top county in the state as far as growth. And the district I'm in the county, is the district with the most growth. So there's a lot of people, a lot of people here that are not from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've done this plenty of times. I've said to people on videos or in person or at meetings, if you're going to hold this against me, what are you telling everybody else that's listening or watching that is not from here, that they don't have a say?
Right.
They don't have a right to be at the table?
Exactly.
I just put it right back to them. Like, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I'm here to represent everyone who lives there, and some of them might be Yankees too. That's the way it looks. Let me read some of the comments. John Beckman says, so refreshing to hear a candidate that is not from a Silver Spoon family. Good for you, Rick. By the way, I'm a Jersey boy as well. Beckman lives all the way out in Nevada, near Las Vegas. So he's that's right. And
Jersey
he is a former Jersey boy. Yeah. He also said, thank God you're not from Delaware. Phew. Carl, who said, tell him to keep up the good work. He's very proud of you, and he's rooting for you. Carl said he wishes he could vote for you all the way here in Virginia, but he's not a Democrat.
I was going to say, if you were a Democrat, you might know.
Right. And White Mike's got another question. He wants to know what your stance is on the Second Amendment. Can you tell us here briefly? Mike is, by the way,
full supporter of the.
Okay, full disclosure, White Mike's a gun enthusiast.
No, well, I love him. I'm a full supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm trying to push for something down here, which is in the General Assembly right now. It's constitutional carry. So right now we have to pay for a concealed carry permit. And I want to do away with that. I don't believe we should be paying for a constitutional right. And I believe it's safer to promote concealed carry than it is open carry for a myriad of reasons. But that's where I am on the Second Amendment. It shall not be infringed. It's part of the Constitution. It's our right. And I support it. And like I said, constitutional carry, I don't think we should be paying for our gun rights.
I hear that.
We don't pay for constitutional rights. That's not how this thing works.
God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless him. That's Rick Walker, baby.
Thank you, everybody, for the comments you just read.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the sentiments. I appreciate everything you've done, Reese. The friend and the influence you've been. It's all part of this. I'm not here without people like you. Whether it's been every day, we haven't been friends. We don't see each other every day. We don't talk to each other every day. But for the past 8 years, I think 2014 is when I started following you and we started communicating.
Yeah.
That 8 years, you've been a huge influence in my life politically, socially, in a lot of different ways. So without you, I'm not here either. Wow. I want you to remember that.
Thank you, man. Oh, man, that makes literally almost brought tears in my eyes, but I can't do that on the air. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you giving us a call, man, and good luck. Please keep me informed. You got my telephone number, man. Send me a text. I want to follow that election. That's this November, right?
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
The primary is next Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. Your primary, and that's right. Next Tuesday. Okay, then we're going to follow it, folks, and we'll put that graph up here. We'll see if we can get a live graph through Election Day next Tuesday, and I'll get that up on the screen.
And hopefully, next Tuesday, I'm having what I'm calling a victory party.
I saw that.
They think I have no shot. So we're just going to throw a victory party that night.
I hear you, dude. I hear you.
So hopefully it goes my way, and whatever way it goes, I believe that's God's path for me, and that's what I'm going to walk.
Well, listen, no matter
or whether it's going down a different road, He's got me where I'm going, and we're going to do it for Him.
Listen to me. No matter what happens, this is an opportunity to learn and to grow, and to make it. To make it to use all of the information you get from here to go even further. And I really believe if you're really, really touching people in this election and getting them to get attention from you, to start getting that feedback afterwards. Even if it's bad, even the good stuff, get that attention and say, what drew you to me? What got you to this campaign? What was important to you? What were the things that spoke to you? What didn't speak to you? Do that research, because this is, these are all a learning experiences, whether we win or we lose, because the important part is to get the right representative in there to represent the people, and it takes hard work every day.
Yep, I've had people come out of the polling location today. I had it happen. A lady came out, said she wasn't going to vote for me. I had a 20-minute conversation with her when she came out about why not, and about what she didn't like, what she did like. I'm already having those conversations, because like I told her, I said, if I win this election, I'm representing you.
There you go.
So you matter.
Absolutely.
And I think she kind of rethought her
her position, huh?
vote after that. But hey, November she'll get a chance again, right?
There you go. Thank you, Rick, man. I appreciate you, man, and we'll be following on Tuesday.
Thank you, Reese. God bless. I hope to call you Tuesday night in a very, very good mood.
Oh, I don't care what it is. You call me anyway. I don't care. We'll go through the numbers together, man, and we'll talk it out.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man. My pleasure. Absolutely,
God
folks. All right, God bless. Rick Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Man, you have no idea. He's got an amazing sort of sense of himself and family orientation. That's absolutely fantastic. Hey, you know what? You got me thinking, Carl. Carl's got me thinking. Carl said, let's go to the party. And I'm going, I don't know, man. Maybe we should. Maybe we may have to go down there. That'd be nice. But if I go down there and the numbers come out badly, then I'm gonna call myself a jinx. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it this weekend. In fact, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Plenty of stuff to get into. I'm sorry. Anyway, and thanks, Rick, again. Gosh, he did. Wow, that was good 30 minutes. I love that. Yeah, I think I might be coming, Rick. If it's this coming Tuesday, I think I can work something out. Why not? Anyway, as I said, folks, Candace Owens. Let's get into this now. Candace Owens, who, again, not one of my favorite people, and I think it was White Mike who said that if she wasn't cute, nobody would pay attention to her anyway. And someone said that John Beckman said that she's turned into the Al Sharpton of the Republican Party. She's like, and again, I think that she is a flamethrower. But this interesting thing she did really exposed Patrisse Cullors, former head of Black Lives Matter. Now, Patrisse Cullors is sitting inside the Black Lives Matter home purchased with Black Lives Matter money. Candace Owens set out to go to the property so she could speak to someone. Mind you, this space is supposed to be for black people and black lives that matter. And when Candace Owens got there, she recognized that there was a white security guard, not a black one. I don't understand why they would have a white security guard there. I couldn't have a security guard there who's whatever color. It doesn't matter to me. But Black Lives Matter, I would think that they would bring someone who understands the value of black lives, like a black person who inherently understands the importance of black lives, and then hire a black person for security for a Black Lives Matter location because they, identify better. But no, they hired a white person. I'm sure he was clearly vetted as a white person. Maybe that vetting went a little something like this. So, kale or collard greens? Please answer carefully. Please answer carefully. Oh, you like kale? I'm sorry, but we don't have a spot for you here. Peach cobbler or apple pie? Oh, apple pie? Oh, I'm sorry. There's no spots for you here. Absolutely not. So, with that being said, here's Candace Owens at the facility to speak to someone, whoever is a representative of Black Lives Matter, and Patrisse Cullors suggesting that she's being harassed.
This morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house with a news crew. She was demanding that I come outside.
Hello. I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property because it's listed as the Black Lives Matter property.
She was demanding that I come outside. By the way, Candace Owens released this video of a side-by-side. She got Patrice Culler's Instagram post and didn't put it side-by-side, but what actually happened.
Sir? Hello?
The fact that she's came outside my house and demanded things, harassed me, is unacceptable.
We're not trying to harass you. We'll gladly leave. We're just wondering if we can speak to anybody.
Y'all, I really need my family to be safe. I need to be safe. I need my child to be safe.
What is that the term crocodile tears? Is that what that is? I need my family to be safe. And Candace is just like, hi. I've got Girl Scout cookies. I was wondering whether or not Patrice would like to buy some Girl Scout cookies. Hold on.
And this, what happened this morning is not safety.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. This was the violent attack on Patrice Culler's home. She didn't feel safe. Oh, damn it. Why did they switch the game? I got so caught up with Rick. Damn it. Yeah, crocodile tears. Somebody get me the score on the Capitals game. I feel like the Caps have probably lost. I feel like they lost. Or maybe it's an intermission. I don't know. Somebody find out for me. I can't see it here because they preempted the game to go to the Rangers versus the Penguins, and that's tied 3-3 in the third with less than 4 minutes in the game. Anyway, boy, she sounded so threatening. Good Lord. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, so Patrice Cullors is, gosh, this poor woman just looks like a joke. Just so sad. Just so sad. Anyway, 1-1, end of the second period. Okay, thank you. Okay, the We Love Abortion crowd is really, really bad right now. Okay? It's really, really bad. And to give you some background, folks, I need to play this for you. If you remember, just recently, there was a Christian center that was bombed. A Christian center was firebombed. Someone threw a Molotov cocktail inside the building and set it on fire. So apparently there was a answering machine at that location, and they have been fielding calls from pro-abortion activists. And thank you all for telling me the score. I'm glad it is still tied. And all of these pro-abortion activists or these pro-abortion people are calling this Christian center that gives aid to people who are considering an abortion or not, but they have religious leanings, and they go into them to find out what their options are. This is just an aid. This is just a location that people go to for aid that's Christian-based. They don't harm anyone. They don't make policy. They are not government-related nor government-funded. They're just people who are Christian and who are trying to help pregnant women. This is the voicemails that they got.
Hi, I'm calling because I read about the fire in your building, and I'm calling because I'm curious if it was arson or rather the good Lord showing you an example of hell and where you belong for being such a misogynistic bitch. Thanks for basically going out there daily and making sure that women can't have control over their own bodies. And I'm so thankful that the good Lord finally took action on people like you.
Now, again, did you hear what this woman said? Making sure that women don't have control of their own bodies. How are they doing that?
You're going to burn as well. You're all going to burn. You think you're following the will of Jesus? You're following the devil, actually. You're just evil little people try to control other people's lives. And next time that Molotov, I hope it doesn't miss. I hope you all burn with it. That's what you deserve.
Yeah, you must be a pretty perverted group if that's all you got to do all day long is think about people's sex organs. Leave your beliefs out of the government. You got no rights to be prying into other people's private family matters. Get the out and keep your to yourself, you idiots. We're sick of you evangelical pieces of
You evangelicals. I believe the word that he's looking for is evangelicals, but he said evangelicals. These are the people, and again, this is what I say. I associate these people with those who say, it's a woman's body. Well, that's who you're with. That's who you're with. You remember that whole nonsense about Black Lives Matter wasn't associated with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? They're sold separately. Well, yeah, now when I hear somebody says, oh, it's a woman's body, I hear these people. These are the people I hear. This is whom you're associated with. Now, why do I say that? Right? Because what do they associate Christians and Catholics with? They immediately associate them with child molestation, the priests, immediately. You're a Christian, you're a Catholic, you're associated with that. Absolutely. You're a Republican, you're a Trump Republican, right? You support January 6th. It's always guilt by association. Well, two can play at that game. These are your people. If somebody says to you, hey, it's a woman's body, she can do it. Oh, okay, so you probably think Christian groups should burn to the ground. I didn't say that. Well, no, people who agree with you say that all the time. Here's more.
Go to hell. That's where you're going anyway.
These people are supposed to be religious. Yeah, these people go to hell. That's where you're effing going. Cursing and everything.
Yeah, just learned about you ignorant, simplistic waste of scum because of the fire. And whoever set that fire is a true American patriot. You people are just utter filth of the planet. And it's too bad your whore mothers didn't abort each and every last one of you. Hopefully you all get cancer, suffer immensely, and are dead before the end of the year. For the betterment of all of humanity, you self-absorbed waste of human scum and filth.
Burn, little Jesus freaks. Burn, burn, burn.
Yeah, hey, I just heard about your fire, and I'm toasting to that. Like, you f***ing pieces of shit couldn't deserve any less. I really hope you all have to live with the evil that you've dispensed in the world. You f***ing pieces of shit. Enjoy your marshmallows.
These are the people who care about women's bodies. That's who these people are. These people care about body autonomy. Right? These are the people who are the most tolerant, the most caring. Clearly, the people who are virtuous, more virtuous than you. They care more. They understand more. They're loving, more giving. That's who these people are. They're the ones walking around virtue signaling, telling all the rest of us how great they are. And these are the voicemails that they leave. That's who these people are. They're not fooling me.
So I hear you had a little bit of trouble. Oh, well. Oh, well. He'll rebuild.
Yeah, that's these people. So the Rangers won 5-3. Wow, that means that Philly is out. So listen, I'm not going to lie. I need Washington to win because they suck against Philly. Nothing against the Rick. No, don't forgive. But Philly is our arch rival, and I cannot have the Penguins in the playoffs anymore. So if the Rangers got rid of them, that's fine. Kappa's got a shot against the Rangers. They've got a shot. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm watching this game intently. Anyway, on to some more. Listen, this is even more. I need people to understand this. Do you know that there are women who travel across the country to give abortions? Did you know that? People travel across the country to ensure that people get abortion. They are traveling abortionists.
All of these laws are disproportionately targeting people that are Black and brown, that have low income. For example, if you, like we saw in Texas, make it so that in the state of Texas, it is nearly impossible to get an abortion, you are placing control over people that are in the state that don't have the means to travel, that don't have the childcare to travel, that don't have the time off of work to travel. And so you're making it so that people of low incomes cannot obtain abortions. And so you're disproportionately controlling people that are Black and brown, like I said, low income. And so a law that disproportionately affects that group of people is a white supremacist law.
Okay, there are a lot of people that...
Now, you hear this woman, she called it a white supremacist law. Now, again, I don't understand. Do you just use the words white supremacist even though the law ensures that more Black babies are born? How do you square with that? And no one ever asks the question. Why not ask the question? Okay, and I would say, you gotta make, that's a woman, you gotta make this clear to me. Help me understand this. You're saying to me that white, racist Republicans are fighting for the opportunity to make sure that pregnant Black women have more Black babies. And this makes them white supremacists. And this makes it a white supremacist. Explain to me why the Republicans wouldn't be tossing Black women. In my head, just the way that I see things, maybe I'm crazy, but why wouldn't, in a utopian world for these racist, white supremacist Republicans, why wouldn't they be creating a world where they'd be rounding up pregnant Black women and forcing them into abortions to diminish the population? Why? Explain to me why we're not seeing that, because that's what I would expect a white supremacist to do. The white man needs to be the dominant one, and we got too many minorities coming into the country. Now think about that. By the year 2050, this is going to be a minority-majority country. White folks be damned. So in order to ensure that, they are making sure that, because the only reason why, now think about it, the only reason why that it is going to become a majority-minority society is because minorities are having more children. That's inevitable at this point. We're talking 27 years. That's it, white folks. Numbers down, that's it. Do they really believe that in 27 years that number's going to go up? White Mike says maybe they own stock in Nike, Newport, and for-profit prisons. I don't know. That could be a possibility. I don't know. But I still don't understand why anybody would do it. Why wouldn't they make sure I'm trying to find my cool in Newport cigarettes bit, but I think I got rid of it. It doesn't make any sense to me that they would not be, in essence, because again, remember, if you're allowing abortion, then the numbers dwindle in those communities. You stop abortion, that number grows. So I'm not understanding that. Anyway, let me finish playing with this knucklehead saying.
Would take issue with that statement that you're making about white supremacy. But you yourself perform abortions and provide health care in a number of states, including Oklahoma. Why do you travel to different states to do this? What has created that situation for you?
I got to make sure those Negroes and Spanish people get an abortion. I have to make sure of it. So I travel along across the country and I abort their babies because this makes them much more powerful. This empowers them, that I ensure that when they get pregnant, I abort their children, because this strengthens those communities by aborting. Because what we're doing here by killing their babies is fighting white supremacy, right? I mean, that's clearly what she's doing it for.
So I'm the medical director of Planned Parenthood Great Plains, which includes Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Western Missouri. And so as Texas's SB 8 was passed, which was in May of 2021, we knew that there would be a great increase in the amount of patients accessing abortion in Oklahoma. And so I started to travel there in the summer of 2021 in order to set up the clinics to prepare for September 1st. And I've continued to travel there because the need is so great.
That's right. Look at it. The need is so great for these black and brown people to get abortions. And we'll fight those white supremacists who are trying to get people to keep their babies. I don't get it. And no one's been able to explain it to me. And this reporter, this so-called journalist, isn't even pushing back on this. Yes, and she is Muslim. That is correct.
Is it that there just aren't that many abortion providers, doctors who will perform abortions in these different states?
Absolutely. There is a saturation of abortion providers in major cities, places by cities that contain large academic medical centers. And the reason for that is simple. People with advanced education need to train other people, but that creates a disproportionate amount of abortion providers in large major metropolitan areas, which tend to be easy to provide in, and a dearth of abortion providers in places that are more rural, that don't have enormous major metropolitan areas.
Iman, I'm curious as to what you've been hearing from patients who are obtaining abortions. What are you hearing from people in these last few months as this case is going to the Supreme Court this summer that could overturn Roe versus Wade, and as the laws start to become more restrictive?
Now, again, very important question, right? I'm hoping to get a really, really clear answer as to what the people are telling her that she's providing abortions to. Listen to the answer.
You know, honestly, patients are so confused by all these laws, all of this state legislative action. It's confusing on purpose. It's meant to confuse people and make them think that they don't have access to their basic human rights where they live. I have many patients asking me that come from Texas to Oklahoma or come from Texas to Kansas whether or not I can even send birth control to their pharmacy. So we're looking at a situation where the laws are confusing. They're confusing on purpose. People don't understand them and really fear that they're losing access to something that should be available in their communities, which is basic healthcare.
Again, so this woman has taken it upon herself to do this because, again, the people she's talking to are dumb. They cannot go to their smartphones and just look this stuff up. They're done. They just don't know. Some people, they're so confused. Now, do you think that has anything to do with their messaging or the Republicans' messaging? Because I would think if somebody's searching for an abortion or searching for contraception, I would be pretty sure that they could find it anywhere. How could they possibly be confused? Are they living in a cave? She claims that that's what she's hearing on the ground, and we know that's nonsense. You and I can't get pregnant, well, at least men here. We can't get pregnant, gentlemen, but we can find out where to get contraception, can't we? We know where. In fact, I don't even have to Google it. I know where the CVS is. So I don't even understand this nonsense. Last thing, before I get to the last portion of the show here, Dr. Fauci, the patron saint of runny noses, he's doing local interviews now. Not a lot of nationals. He's doing local interviews now for local TVs. Folks, this answer or this statement by Dr. Fauci is very telling. Very telling. And it's about Dr. Fauci flip-flopping on a lot of the things that he said over the past 2 years.
Been basically accused of flip-flopping on your positions. Can you clarify why some of those nuanced opinions are really important?
Yeah, what I can say, it's a good thing.
Why those nuanced approaches? Is that what the definition is now? Now they're nuanced? First you call it flip-flopping, and then you set them up by calling it nuance. It's not nuance. He was flip-flopping. He was flip-flopping. He was changing his answers as the day went by. You don't need a mask. Everybody's got to have a mask. Keep wearing a mask. You can travel. Don't travel. We're in a pandemic. We're out of the pandemic. No, I misspoke.
Basically accused of flip-flopping on your positions. Can you clarify why some of those nuanced opinions are really important?
Yeah, what I can say, it's a good thing I have flip-flopped. And the reason is because science and the evolution of this outbreak changes. If you are being true to the facts and true to the data, you're going to have to change.
Yeah, now you're saying true to the data, you're going to have to change. However, that does not apply to the science of climate change, which I say ad nauseum here. The science changes, he says. It changes all the time. It's always changing. It's always changing. Hey, sweetheart, it's always changing. It never, ever stays the same. Absolutely. You're a bum rock. He's killing me. Now, he says that he's not flip-flopping. Science changes, right? He says, oh, it's a good thing I was flip-flopping. But then he says he wasn't flip-flopping.
That's not flip-flopping. That's moving along with the science the way this outbreak is moving along.
Yeah, it never ever moved along. Just a bogus freaking answer. All right, last but not least, Jen Psaki's last day was today. The White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, this was her last day today. She cried at the podium, and nobody cares. And she's going off to her job at MSNBC. I hear that her new show is going to be called Circling Back with Jen Psaki, which is exactly what it should be called. Circling Back with Jen Psaki. I'm telling you, that's the name of the show. I'm hoping it is. And she's going to be replaced by Corinne Jean-Pierre. That is Corinne Jean-Pierre. Listen to your local talk radio shows, and they are all mimicking me now. I've started saying her name a long time ago, Corinne Jean-Pierre. And now everybody's saying it. I heard Vince Colonnais say it the other day. I heard, Larry O'Donnell say it. Everybody's saying Jean-Pierre. But here's Jen Psaki. She was asked, final question, about crack pipes. Because apparently the Biden administration has spent over $30 million on crack pipes. And they claim that it isn't happening. Is it, though? Here's Jen Psaki on the question.
Shift gears only slightly to crack pipes.
Okay.
You said in February that no money from a $30 million harm reduction program would fund distribution of crack pipes in safe smoking kits. The Washington Free Beacon reported that they went to harm reduction facilities in 5 cities, and all of those facilities had crack pipes in their kits. HHS would not say which programs had applied for funding, and the recipient list is not out yet. So I'm just wondering if the White House can say if any taxpayer dollars paid for these crack pipes?
No federal funding has gone to it.
And is there any oversight to ensure that when that money goes out for the program, that these organizations will not use federal dollars for crack pipes?
This policy does not allow for crack pipes to be included. I would just note that this is a bit of a conspiracy theory that's been spread out there. It's not accurate.
Okay, a bit of a conspiracy theory that's not accurate. That's not calling it untrue. There's a reason why she phrased it that way.
There's important drug treatment programs for people who have been suffering from what we've seen as an epidemic across the country, and money is not used for crack pipes.
So she says. But until the folks over at the Washington Free Beacon got a hold of this in Baltimore. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a crack stem with filters, cleaning products right there. That is a crack pipe. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, Reese, I don't really know what a crack pipe looks like. I don't remember crack pipes ever being just straight glass stems. And I'm going, oh, you know what? You might be right, homie. I'm sorry. Well, this is in Boston. How about that crack pipe right there? That one right there has a glass bulb at the edge of that tube. There's one that's just a straight tube, and there's one with the glass bulb where you would put said crack in the pipe. Don't forget, there's lip balm that you put on your lips so that you don't burn your lips on the hot, blazing, scorched crack pipe. That's right. Lip balm right there. Alcohol, don't drink it. You clean off said crack pipe with it. That's in Boston, all right? And don't forget, we also went to New York, where they have a safer smoking kit, which comes in a bag. And look at there. Ooh, that's a larger New York City crack pipe. Look at that. It's even got the stem pipe there, and even got the little cleaning tube right there to push the crack through it. I don't know if that's actual crack rock that comes with the New York ones. I've never seen crack or real, I really haven't seen crack in my life, but because I don't do crack, I don't know. And this one is out of Richmond, Virginia. Ooh, they've got colorful Crayola-like stems over here with some lip balm. There's some lip balm right there. Ooh, and in the Richmond package, hold on. You get not one, not two, not to three, but four. Count them, 4 crack pipes. That's right. Congratulations to the folks over in Baltimore who got the 4 crack pipes over there. Yeah, that's the crack pipe fortune right there. That's the wheel of crack pipes right there. I'm just kidding. Also, what else we got here? Oh, this is Washington, D.C. They got crack pipes too, baby. Oh, and hold on, baby. Hold on. Washington, not to be outdone, ladies and gentlemen. Is that aluminum foil right there? Oh no. That's in case your crack pipe, the glass penis there, as they like to call it, in case that breaks, you always got the aluminum foil, which you can fashion into your own crack pipe. Yes, I do know about that. You can fashion aluminum foil into your own crack pipe, and I only know that. I only know that because a couple of friends of mine back in the 90s, they used to take aluminum foil and they used to fashion one of the little one-hitters with aluminum foil. Carl, do the kids still do that now? And I'm asking you only to ask, because you're younger. Do the kids still take the aluminum foil and then make a little pipe in the aluminum foil that they could put a little one-hitter on, take a nice little pull like that? Carl said, yes, they still do. Okay, I was just wondering. Yeah, so I don't know what Jen Psaki's talking about. The crack pipes are everywhere. And if you might notice, folks, I'm going to say it again. Pay very close attention. Baltimore, Boston, New York City, Richmond, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. all have their own crack pipes. All have their own crack pipes. Somebody is taking the money and buying crack pipes. Even if the government says not to buy the crack pipes, somebody's doing it. Okay? Just so we understand each other. Somebody's doing it. All right? So Jen Psaki's gone. So maybe when Karine Jean-Pierre comes to the podium, we'll find out the truth. Maybe she'll be more honest, maybe a little more honest than Jen Psaki was. I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew that was bogus. All right, folks, you know what that sound means. It's time for me to get out of here. No, boss man, even earlier. Picking you up at 7 a.m. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. I want to thank Rick Walker, North Carolina District 26, primary on Tuesday. We'll have those results here. Good luck to you, Rick. We are rooting for you. Again, I'm Reese on the radio. You're going to have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Monday. And be good to each other, all right? And let's all root for Rick. Let's all collectively pray for my man Rick. All right? Holler.